one day the words will rearrange themselves on a page and point me toward her. She taught me, even in absentia, that all good science starts with a hypothesis, which is just a hunch dressed up in fancy vocabulary. And my hunch is this: she would never have left me behind, not willingly. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to prove it. When I wake up, Gertie is draped over my feet, a giant dog rug. She twitches, running after something she can only see in her dreams. I know what that feels like. I try to get out of bed without waking her, but she jumps up and barks at the closed door of my bedroom. Relax, I say, sinking my fingers into the thick fur at the ruff of her neck. She licks my cheek, but doesn't relax at all. She keeps her eyes fixed on the bedroom door, as if she can see what's on the other side, which, given what I have planned for the day, is pretty ironic. Gertie leaps off the bed, her wagging tail pounding the wall. I open the door and let her scramble downstairs, where my grandmother will let her out and feed her and start to cook breakfast for me. Gertie came to my grandmother's house a year after I did. Before that, she had lived at the sanctuary, and she was best friends with an elephant named Sira. She'd spend every day at Sira's side, and when Gertie got sick, Sira even stood guard over her, gently rubbing her with her trunk. It was not the first story of a dog and an elephant bonding, but it was a legendary one, written up in children's books, featured on the news. A famous photographer even shot a calendar of unlikely animal friendships and made Gertie Miss July. So when Sira was sent away after the sanctuary closed, Gertie was just as abandoned as I was. For months, no one knew what had happened to her. And then one day, when my grandmother answered the doorbell, there was an animal rescue officer asking if we knew this dog, which had been found in our neighborhood. She still had her collar with her name embroidered on it. Gertie was skinny and flea-bitten, but she started licking my face. My grandmother let Gertie stay, probably because she thought it would help me adjust. If we're going to be honest here, I have to tell you it didn't work. I've always been a loner, and I've never really felt like I belong here. I'm like one of those women who read Jane Austen obsessively, and still hope that Mr. Darcy might show up at the door. Or the Civil War reenactors who growl at each other on battlefields, now spotted with baseball fields and park benches. I'm the princess in an ivory tower, except every brick is made of history, and I built this prison myself. I did have one friend at school, once, who sort of understood. Chatham Clark was the only person I ever told about my mother and how I was going to find her. Chatham lived with her aunt because her mother was a drug addict and in jail, and she had never met her father. It's noble, Chatham told me. How much you want to see your mother. When I asked her what that meant, she told me about how once her aunt had taken her to the prison where her mom was serving her term, how she dressed up in a frilly skirt and those shoes that looked like black mirrors, but her mother was gray and lifeless, her eyes dead and her teeth